Have you ever felt like you're just on this endless emotional roller coaster? One day you're on top of the world, the next you're in a slump, and it feels like you're being pushed and pulled around by things you can't even control. Well, that feeling, it's tied to a really basic principle of life, duality. Today, we're going to dig into some ancient wisdom that doesn't just talk about this roller coaster, it actually gives us the tools to find our balance right in the middle of it.
All right, so let's start with just how deep this idea of duality runs. You see it absolutely everywhere, every single day. Whether you're looking outside your window or, just looking inside your own head. It's pretty much the basic rhythm of our entire existence.
I mean, just think about the world around us. One season, you get plenty of rain and everything is coming to life. Another, it's a dry spell, a total drought. The natural world is this constant back and forth between opposites. And that same pattern gives us another pair of opposites, right? You see a lush green landscape that's just bursting with life, and then you see a stark, barren piece of land. It's almost like the outside world is holding up a mirror to how we feel on the inside.
And of course, there's the big one, the most fundamental cycle of all, night and day. It's this inescapable rhythm of our lives, and it's a constant, daily reminder that no state, whether it's light or dark, is going to last forever. So now, let's take that whole idea and bring it inward. Just like the rain and the sun, or night and day, all those external dualities have an internal match. And they're the two main emotional poles that pretty much govern our entire experience. Happiness, or sukha, and distress, which is called dukkha.
What's really fascinating is that modern science kind of backs this up. Some studies have identified as many as 27 distinct human emotions, everything from awe and anxiety to joy and anger. But when you boil it all down, every single one of those complex feelings tends to pull us toward one of those two basic states, feeling good or feeling bad, happiness or distress.
Okay, so understanding that this push and pull is just part of life is one thing, but actually dealing with the emotional storm it can create inside of us, now that is the real challenge. And it's what leads us to this huge question of personal suffering.
And look, this isn't some abstract philosophical problem. It shows up in our modern lives all the time. That pressure to choose the right career, the constant anxiety about job security, the frustration when a project just completely falls apart, or that sinking feeling when all your hard work doesn't give you the results you wanted. These are the modern-day battles that throw us into that state of distress.
And when we get caught in that spiral of negative outcomes, and we feel totally helpless, one question almost always comes to the surface. It's that really personal, isolating thought. Why is this happening to me?
It's such a heavy question, isn't it? And we all ask it. But what if the answer isn't about finding a reason why it's happening to us? What if the real secret is in understanding the fundamental nature of what's happening? This is where some ancient wisdom, specifically from the Bhagavad Gita, gives us a really profound way to shift our perspective. So the Gita offers this incredible insight. It explains that our feelings of happiness and distress, they just arise from our senses interacting with the world. But here's the crucial part. It says these feelings are coming and going. They are non-permanent. They aren't solid, fixed things that are here to stay.
Now, that can sound a little abstract, so how do we make it real? Well, the Gita gives us this powerful and incredibly simple metaphor. Just think of your emotional states like the changing of the seasons. Seriously, think about it. We tolerate the freezing cold of winter and the scorching heat of summer because we have this deep, unspoken understanding that they are temporary. We just know the season is going to change. The wisdom of the Gita is to take that exact same attitude and apply it to our emotions. Happiness, distress, they will pass too.
So getting that our emotions are temporary, just like the seasons, that's the first huge step. But how do we turn that knowledge into a practical skill that we can actually use? Well, the answer is all about balance.
Building on that idea, the Gita then describes the ideal way to be. It says that the person who isn't disturbed by happiness or distress, the one who stays steady and balanced through both, is the one who's truly ready for what it calls liberation, or, reaching their ultimate potential. To really bring this idea to life, just picture a tightrope walker. Their goal isn't to make the rope stop wobbling or to stop the wind from blowing. No way. Their secret is their ability to constantly adjust and stay balanced in the middle of all those disturbances. And this brings us to the core skill, a concept called equanimity, or samatha. Now, this is not about becoming a robot or stuffing your feelings down. It's the skill of treating both happiness and distress as equal, as temporary visitors just passing through. It's having the inner balance of that tightrope walker. So what does this actually look like day to day? It's surprisingly simple. When you're in a state of distress, you consciously remind yourself of that wisdom of the seasons. This is temporary. This will pass. And, just as important, when you're happy, by all means, enjoy it. But don't get overly attached. Why? Because if you soar to an extreme high, that inevitable swing back down is going to feel that much worse. It's all about finding that middle ground. Okay, so we get that our emotions are like seasons, and we need to be like a tightrope walker. But what's the ultimate goal here? What's the real benefit of mastering this? What does a life lived with this kind of balance actually look and feel like? The Geeta paints this incredible picture of a person who has truly mastered this balance. It says they are so centered in themselves that they view happiness and distress as the same. And for them, a lump of dirt, a stone, and a piece of gold are all of equal value. And that's the practical result. When you get to this state of equanimity, you're just not swayed by all the external stuff anymore. Praise and blame, it's all the same. Honor and dishonor, they lose their power over you. Your inner peace is no longer dependent on what the world throws at you.
In modern language, this is what it truly means to have a sorted life. It's a life where you are the master of your inner world and you're no longer a slave to every temporary circumstance or emotional swing. You're stable, you're calm, because you finally understand the nature of the game.
So, as you go through your day, facing your own ups and downs, your own happiness and distress, successes and failures, take this question with you. In your own life, what is just a passing season, and what is truly permanent? Finding the answer to that, well, it might just change everything.